Hello again, guys. Two videos in a row. Just going to have a quick chat through a little bit of a mini upgrade for the winter running months for you Hoka fans. So Clifton 9, a shoe that's been around for a while now. A really nice daily trainer. It's got that nice sort of plush feel on the upper. It's got that nice bit of cushioning, a nice bit of feel under the arch. We've got some really nice sort of hardcore rub areas. Not quite as snappy and zingy as something like a Mach 5, but for general mileage, what a shoe. Really, really good, and nice hardware and comfortable offering, assuming it suits you, of course. So the upgrade to this is not necessarily we're not talking Clifton 10 here, we are talking Clifton 9 GTX. So my take on waterproof shoes for the trail is that when you're battling down a trail and there's a big deep puddle and you put your foot into it, chances are it's going to fill your shoe up, or there's a river crossing that'll go above the big hole in the shoe there where it leaks and fill the thing up and then be full for the rest of your run. So we tend not to subscribe to waterproof trail shoes, and we subscribe to a waterproof sock instead. Now, where I think waterproof works, and I think this is one of the most overlooked sort of circumstances, when you're running on the roads, obviously we've got fairly obvious puddles. They tend to be shallower puddles. There's lots of sort of splashy bits. There's always going to be that puddle you can't get round on the pavement, and when you're running in your standard shoes, you're just going to get wet feet. They are going to vent back out and drain back out, but obviously the puddles on roads very rarely get above this height to get into the big hole like you do in the trails. So a waterproof road option is actually a cracking idea for wet days, for summer washouts, for winter training. The waterproof also acts as a windproof barrier, so on cold days it'll keep your feet that little bit warmer. And yes, that does flip around, so if you only had these, you'd be wearing that sort of sweaty shoe. Any membrane will never breathe as well as the skin or an open mesh. So it is great to have in your arsenal or as your only shoe in the winter months that are almost upon us now. So what's the crack here then? So in my size, which is an 11.5, all I'm adding in weight, which is often the thing with waterproof, is a 20-gram penalty. So not a huge amount of things. So I think it's 320 versus 340 as near as damn it. So not a big thing in big grand scheme of things, sort of less than 6-7% in weight increase. That is partially added on by the fact that there's a few extra details here on the sole units. You may just be able to see they've infilled the middle of the lugs there as they have on that there. So there's a few grams in rubber, obviously giving it a lot more contact patch against the wet grounds. It's designed for running in wetter conditions. So traction is obviously how the rubber compound can stick to a surface, and the cuts and grooves are all about getting that water out. So the grooving is in a straight line, whereas it's crisscross on the standard one. But we increase that surface area that touches the floor to give us much more traction, much more stick to those wet pavements and those wet tarmacs. Now, in terms of the type of waterproofing, you'll see here, maybe backwards, but Gore-Tex Invisible Fit. So InvisiFit is a super thin, really flexible Gore-Tex waterproof layer. So a lot of Gore-Tex shoes will have, those bigger, sort of thicker Gore-Texes on, which are a little bit cumbersome. But you can see here, it's not that sort of cardboardy feel that you get from a lot of the Gore-Tex layers. Obviously, it's got a Gore-Tex layer in there, but it's not as, I say, inflexible as some of the other ones. When you look at how it flexes just like a sort of a standard upper in there. The heel cup is super plush, exactly the same as the non-waterproof version. We've got the nice reflective details that are associated with winter running. Obviously the reflective on here and here and through the back of the shoe, so sort of a little bit different to this. So we don't get the reflective logo. There's only a minor bit of reflective on the toe there. So really just geared up for that that sort of impending doom that is winter training. Great winter marathon shoe. So if you're going to be training for a spring marathon, you're going to be running through a lot of bad conditions on the roads, and this could be the perfect training partner. Asterix, if it suits you after a fitting. Don't just go buying blind, because you may just buy yourself an injury. So absolutely genius bit of an upgrade, and my usual style. I probably should have checked the price before I came online. Probably, if I look, usually a 10 quid upgrade, so I'd imagine there'd be 140, 145 over the standard 130 of the non-Gore-Tex option. So yeah, a treat for the feet, and now in stock here at Run Forest. TTFN, see you in the puddles.